More than 300 years ago, the first pioneers crossed the oceans to a new world. They carved from the wilderness an empire of agriculture and industry. And yet, in one of the great river valleys of America, something went wrong.
In this area, most of the South, they didn't know there was a depression. They were depressed before that. I mean, rural areas were just third world country. It was terrible conditions. TDA, when it first started, the idea that you could take the natural resources of the valley and fix environmental, agricultural, and economic problems, that was really big thinking.
The people of the valley, they needed something to be able to sustain long-term working careers and provide for their families. But what they needed was the TVA.
The power system of TVA serves an area of 80,000 square miles in 7 southeastern states.
The rates at TVA is lower than about 80% of the other utilities around the country. And that's very important to the good, sustainable middle-class living. And because the TVA is self-funded, it doesn't rely on taxpayer dollars.
I've got friends that live in Louisiana and lower Alabama. There's places that the energy bills they pay are 30 to 40% higher than what we pay here in Tennessee. The thing about TVA, it's one of the most successful federal enterprise, not only because it generates affordable, reliable power like nobody else, but it builds families and builds jobs like nobody else.
Cheap power drives every economic engine. That's true around the world, it's true through history. You have to have that to drive an economy. The charters of almost every local union in the valley, not coincidentally, line up almost exactly with the building of TVA projects. 1933, 1934, 1935, and that's when these locals were chartered. And it's the only place in the South where we have union prevailing wages.
Thanks for being out here. I know it's hot. Thank you for coming out here. Thank you for being a laborer. Thank you for the work you do.
I grew up in a little town, Wallen, Tennessee, real close to the Smoky Mountains. The good thing about living around here is there's TVA plants all over, and they keep us working.
My mother-in-law, she works at a similar coal plant up towards Louisville, privatized, and they start the laborers out for an entry-level position at $17 an hour, right next to a big major city. And we're fortunate out here in the middle of nowhere, be starting out at $24.40 an hour through the union. And we get raises just about every year through our contract. And they have to fight tooth and nail up there in those private companies to get any kind of raise.
At 6, TVA is the largest public power provider in the country, and there's been a long-running pitch by politicians to take the Tennessee Valley Authority private. Congressman Tim Burchett told 10 News in a statement he favors the potential sale of the utility giant.
If TVA was privatized, number one, we would see costs go up. Number two, we would see the environmental stewardship go down because I don't think there would be the same concern about the community. And we would also see the long-term relationships that they have with the building trades unions and the unions in general be affected. I don't think you would get that same relationship. Matter of fact, I know you wouldn't with a private company.
If we were to lose TVA, lose our collective bargaining agreements, it would set us back in membership, market share, and just ability to lift people up.
I just can't imagine that people in Washington know anything about the people in Stewart County right now. I don't think they're thinking about these people. I don't think they're thinking about their families. I think that there's a lot of folks that are interested in taking a very successful piece of public infrastructure and making a dime off of it, and that is not going to be good for people here.